Right, so you may hear a certain amount of rustling during this video because it is brewing up a storm, so I am trying to improvise a little bit of waterproofing in the light sort of pre-storm drizzle with plastic bags. So apologies for that, and with that, let's get on with it. Right, so today's plant going in is starting with a Bauhinia petersiana, which is also called a handkerchief tree. And that is one of the native legumes, and it is a tree slash shrub slash scrambler. So if I was keeping it in a fully open environment, I would be pruning it upwards to form a low tree, sort of 3 to 4 meters high, so you could walk under it, but it wouldn't be much higher than that. In a shaded environment, so this is going in between a self-established albizia, which is a fairly large native tree, and in one of the flamboyants, which is a Madagascan tree, which is medium-sized. This will, once it reaches a height that it can do this, it will start to scramble, so it will use those trees as support for its higher branches, and it can get up to sort of about 6 to 8 meters doing that, and it'll flower from the branches sort of trailing through other trees, which not only is going to give it a little bit of extra support, it being very genetically distinct from them and having very different pests to them, the branches moving through each other should actually reduce the pest burden on each other. Not as dramatically as with a very toxic tree like an erythrina or a carrot tree, but quite dramatically compared to being on their own. This is one of the benefits of companion planting. On the note of companion plants, it's getting a Dracaena steudneri. Now, this is going about 2 feet away from the Bauhinia to begin with, and the hope is that as that goes up and branches out, the Bauhinia will also scramble up that, and then we'll have the Bauhinia flower sort of tumbling out of the Dracaena, which will end up a lot bigger than the Bauhinia is able to get. We're also putting in one of the native aloes, so the Aloe cameroni, which is the very standard by now, well, 3 of them, which should form a nice dense thicket around the base of it and protect it while it's young and tender. And I'm also putting in Orbea cordata, which is one of the scrambling carrion plants, also native in northern province, and it is a sort of shade-tolerant succulent which has these wonderful, very pretty flowers that smell quite foul and attract a lot of flies, and whereas most flowers will offer nectar or something as a reward, this doesn't, and it just basically causes the flies to waste their time and lay their eggs somewhere their eggs can't develop, which is quite a good way of having less flies at your barbecue. Okay, so that should be it for today. Now there is a sort of twist meaning behind planting a handkerchief tree today. It's not very complicated, but you're welcome to use Google to try and work out why, with the American meaning of today and a handkerchief tree in Zambia, why I might have chosen that. But yeah, that should be all for today, so tune in tomorrow and see what we do then.